Well, welcome everyone to our second episode of Behind the Canvas. If you missed the first one, um, Behind the Canvas is a series that we're doing here at Illinois Art Station where we take a look at what's happening behind the scenes at Illinois Art Station. We're going to talk about a lot of different things as we go on, but this episode for this month is focused entirely on spring programming here at IAS. So what we're doing, how we're doing it. And because we're talking about programs, we brought in a special guest, our first one. Joey Hatch is here. She is the program coordinator for Illinois Art Station, and she's going to answer some of the questions that share a little bit more about how programs actually work and what we're doing that's kind of special for the spring. So as always, Becca, our communication specialist, will ask the questions and we will answer them.
Awesome. Let's just jump right in. So the first question is, what will spring programming at Illinois Art Station look like?
That is a great question. As is probably the case for a lot of institutions, spring programming will be different than what is considered normal, but it will be similar to what we did in the fall. So meaning that we will be offering most of our programming via Zoom. So we'll have remote virtual arts programming for children and youth. So that's pretty exciting. I feel like we learned a lot from the fall, and so we are better prepared and ready to go for the spring with a lot of lessons learned and new ideas. So I think it's going to be really exciting for the kids to kind of get to participate in these programs again. So that's pretty exciting. One thing that's a little bit special too is that we've extended our programs. So in the fall, we did a 6-session series for both of the at-home programs we have, which are ITSE at Home and the AA3 at Home. And in the spring, we're going to be doing an 8-session series for each of those. So if you really enjoyed it in the fall, you get an extra kind of bonus because there's going to be more programs. And if you missed it in the fall, there's more opportunities to participate in the spring.
Okay, so the next question is, what programs are being offered and how can participants register for those programs?
Yeah, so we are going to do our ITSE at Home and our AA3 at Home again this spring. So the ITSE program is for our younger audiences, kids 1 to 5, and the AA3 is an after-school program, and it's for children 6 to 12, roughly. And so we'll have those programs, and then connected to those programs, we're offering a plus version. So we'll have ITSE Plus at Home and AA3 Plus at Home. And the main difference is that our regular sessions, the ITSE and the AA3 at Home, are completely free, so you don't have to pay to register or participate. You'll get a Zoom link and instruction from our art educators, as well as a supply list to find materials that you probably already have at home. So all of the art making happens with things that you hopefully or should already have. So you don't have to buy supplies, and we aren't going to give anything particular to you regarding materials. But the plus versions, you pay for and you get special supplies delivered to you. So in addition to the list and the link and the instruction, you also get a fun little kit of special supplies that are hand packed by our educators and delivered right to your door so that you can participate in the different activities. And so the plus programs are $8 for the ITSE and $11 for AA3, and that's per session. And there actually is still a small window of time to pre-register. And what pre-registration means is if you would like to do all 8 of the sessions, which will happen January 21st is our first date through mid-May, then you can pre-register now and actually get the whole series at a discount. So you essentially get about a session for free if you pre-register. So if you're interested, you can actually do that now, and you can find registration information on our public calendar, which is accessible from our social media pages. So it's in the bio information on our Instagram and on our Facebook page. So that's probably the best, fastest way to get to register for now, but we also post registration reminders every week. Once the pre-registration period is over, you can only register a week in advance for each session. So we'll make sure that everybody knows when that registration period opens each week.
Thank you. So then, Joey, on the flip side, how do you and the art educators use Zoom to deliver these programs?
So a couple days before you actually get to go to your Zoom program, you'll be sent an email that will have all the information in it with your Zoom link. And if you're in the at-home programs, the plain at-home programs that you don't necessarily get the extra supplies for, you'll have a supply list. So you'll know everything that you need to have that'll be ready. And then if you're in the Plus programs, you'll receive not just information like that comes in your email, but you'll also be receiving your bag full of supplies. That'll be dropped off in a contact-free delivery. And then when your program begins, it'll be time for the teachers to come in, and they'll bring some art or a book or something to start the program with and be excited with. And then they're expanding by learning not just about the process of making, but they're learning about the original artwork or the book, and they're learning about the concepts behind those things as well. So if they show an artwork for that lesson, they'll learn about the artwork, they'll learn about how it's made, who made it, and maybe what the artist was thinking about before they use that as the inspiration for what they're making. So it's a lot of the same things that we're already doing when we're able to be in person, just through Zoom.
Great. So then kind of going off of what you touched on a little bit, what can the participants expect from these virtual programs?
So they're going to be learning about new artworks, probably ones that they haven't seen before, because we like to look at a lot of contemporary art whenever possible. They're going to be learning about the process of making, why artists make, how they're making, the types of supplies that they use, which may or may not be different than the ones that the children are using at the time. And then they're getting to learn about themselves and their own emotions as they're working through and engaging with that original inspiration artwork.
Awesome. So they can expect a lot. They'll be busy and
Yes,
having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So lastly, both of you guys, what are your favorite things about these virtual programs that we're offering?
Well, one of my favorite things is actually like the exact same thing that I find most exciting when I'm in a room full of children and I'm teaching them. And it's all those little noises of excitement and wonder. So when you share a new artwork and someone's like so excited to tell you what they see in it before anybody else, and they're just and they want to talk about it. Or when they are pulling up their first ever print that they made with a stamp that they made themselves, and they're just those moments of shock and excitement, they're all happening through Zoom, just like when they are in the classroom. And so that is not only my favorite thing, but I was also kind of surprised, because even though we're so far away from some of our students right now, all those exciting things that are so important when you're learning about art and you're learning about art making are happening still. And so I'm very excited about this as it's continuing on.
That's a good answer. That's a hard one to follow. I want to say all of those same things. But in the effort of coming up with some other things, I think one or some of the things that I really am excited about for these programs and that I've witnessed, it's kind of cool to see how the new format allows our art educators to do some different things. So some of our art educators, they actually are super Zoom savvy, apparently. Who knew? And they set up these like cams so that the students can watch the art, their hands making, and they can watch them actually create. So it's kind of an inside look into the way that to make something or to do something that would be really hard to recreate in a classroom setting where you've got a lot of kids in person and an art educator having to kind of like sample things in a different way. So I feel like it's pretty cool that they're able to do that and kind of give the Zoom participants a chance to see that in a different way. You know, full disclosure here, I have a son who's participated in one of the programs in the fall, and what I found to be really exciting as a parent watching him participate was that it felt a little bit like he had a private lesson sometimes. So like he was able to connect and hear the other children and hear what they had to say. But when it came time to like ask a question, you know, he was able to really kind of be right there with the educator and kind of have a chance to get that really personal connection, which I know he would get in person too, but it was really exciting to see that happen in a virtual format, which I don't think I expected necessarily. So I really like that aspect too.
You know, I think that's a really good point that you're making, is that I think some of our students tend to be really shy when they are wanting to ask a question or know more information because they're worried about who else might already know the answer, and maybe they're the only one who doesn't know. But for whatever reason, in these Zoom classes, kids, there's no peer sitting next to them, and so they are not shy when they're asking us questions and engaging with us. And that's been another really happy accident that we've kind of discovered through all this. It's been really useful for us and for the students at the same time.
Awesome. Thank you guys both so much. And thank you, Joey, for coming and talking about programming. It's always fun to have a guest.
Yes, it is fun. And again, thank you, all of our visitors, for watching episode 2 of Behind the Canvas. We will have more coming up. We will do them every month, and you can always post topic ideas or questions in the comments or send us an email if there's something that's of particular interest to you. We would love to talk about it. And we'll see you back next month.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.